welcome back. So it's been long, and I want to first ask for to apologize. Really, it's been long since I think you have taken like about 1 week off minus touching on this project. Really, so much. I'm not feeling good about this. It's about some other commitments, as you know. They right now my videos are not that sponsored, and I have to really hustle, try to make sure that I survive at the same time I create content you guys you can get and benefit. And I want to thank those ones who have bought the code, those who support me on different levels. Thank you so much. And those ones who have subscribed, please thank you and thank you. And those ones who haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And also those ones who give me ideas, those who comment on the videos giving different ideas, I really want to thank them and thank you so much. So in today's episode, to take you up to speed, at least we have the doctors being fetched here according to the date. So if by that date that doctor is available, we will see that doctor there. Uh, I don't know this. Okay, we have some doctors here. I can see now we have Asuman, and then here we have Emily. And this is just because if you go and maybe for this date on Monday they are all available. That's why you see that we have a number of doctors available today on Monday. That's really great. So right now I'm logged in as a doctor. If you check, this is Dr. Asumani JB, and this is this doctor here. So what we want to do is that if you remember in the previous video, there were a number of things that were done, and one of them was us doing the appointments. So a patient is able to go ahead and and book this appointment. So one big thing that was remaining was actually connecting the connecting in they call it what, they connecting in the Zoom to be able to have the link. So I thought about it, and I thought to modify a little bit. So what you're going to do is we are going, first of all, let me just go to the appointment model so that I just talk when we are all looking at the appointment model. So if you just go to the schema and you look at the appointment model, so you see we have appointment date, format, doctor ID, patient ID, appointment time, all these things we have them. So if you go down, we must be having somewhere, let's see, date, patient, time, first name, last name, gender, location, and occupation. Okay. So now we just need to add in two things that we need to add in into this. The first thing we're just going to add in, we are going to add in the status. So we're just adding the status, and then we're also going to add in the meeting link. Okay. And then if it's just meeting, we need to choose the meeting. Maybe I just say meeting provider. So meeting a provider. So let's say we have, so far you may just go ahead and we could just say create a simple meeting provider stuff, but for now let's just leave it like this. Someone he enters the meeting link and he simply just tells that it is Zoom or it is. So we just go ahead and just will put many providers. I think he can just use like a drop down to get this. Okay, so we'll have these three things, the status. So by default, when you create, this one is going to have, I'm just going to add it actually. So when you create an appointment, by default, this is going to be a Boolean. I'm just going to say Boolean. And by default, this is going to be, so I'm just going to say at a default is going to be a false. And false is going to be equal to pending. So the meeting will have only two, the appointment will have only two status, false, which means that the meeting is pending, and true, which means it was accepted. Okay, and then now also the meeting link. Okay, so I will add the meeting link, and this is going to be a string. And let's say at default, I'm just going to give by default empty. Okay, for now, maybe just put a hashtag. Okay, and then this the meeting provider is going to be I'm just going to, sorry, I'm just going to say this is also a string, and then at default, so I'm just going to say at default is also going to be the hashtag. And why I'm putting this at default is that if you don't want to if you already have some appointments and you don't give this default, it is going to make an error while fetching. So you need to give them at default, and this will go and give the default all existing ones, and thus we don't have any stuff, any problems. And these three things, as you can see them, they by default they will be not provided from the client when a user is booking a this doctor. These ones, they will be all false by default. They will not have any figures. So when a doctor comes and will find here these appointments are going to be in two phrases, those ones that are pending and those ones which are approved. Okay, so the doctor will be able to open, like click on this, and then down here we'll be able to actually modify the settings. One, can change the status from pending to from pending to from pending to accepted. Okay, so he will just mark it accepted. And then another one is he will be able to add the meeting link plus the meeting provider. Okay, so these are the things we just need to work on right now, okay, in this video, and then we should will be able to for the doctor to categorize, this, and that one will be very easy. After they have accepted, they have added the meeting provider, they now all use that meeting, the Zoom meeting, and the set when it is going to be. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start by adding all those updates by pushing this. So what we just simply need to do is go and reset this. I'm just going to stop the server and then run npx prisma db push And before we continue, the reason why I didn't want to integrate, one is that the integration, I was really still looking up the documentation for the both the Zoom meeting plus the Google Meet, how to integrate them in Next.js. I'm still finding challenges to integrate it. So in the meantime, to make this one work, we're just going to provide whereby the doctor is going to be able to update the meeting link, and then the user, when they log in, they will find that meeting link, they will find the appointments, and then they will find the meeting link, and then they can just wait for the date, and then that meeting link will be there, and then they can meet. Okay, so that's the with the solution for now. When I configure the integrations, we shall be able to integrate them. Okay, so what else do I want to do? I want to npx prisma.db push, and I'm just going to say npm run dev. So just run this. Okay. So meanwhile, I'm just going to go and look for um copy something from the settings. Uh, let's just wait a second. So we're just going to add the section where the doctor can make some updates down here on this on the meeting, sorry, on the appointment detailed page. The doctor can make some updates. Okay, and that will be really really good, so that it will be marking this. We shall mark them with different colors, the ones which are accepted and the ones which are pending. Let's just go here, and I'm just going to go ahead and refresh by reloading that. And meanwhile, I'm just going to be looking for the form we need. So we need three things: the one that's going to the status, the meeting link, plus the meeting provider. Those three things are the ones we need to update. So instead, I'm just going to go to, I might just go to the settings, where we have the settings, general settings. Let's see. We have only so far general settings. I don't know if this is the for the doctor. We need to look up for the doctor. Yeah, so here we have the dashboard. Then you have doctor service settings, and then update service form. Okay, so we have a number of things this side. We have the card. Okay, so I would just want to go and click in settings. I just want to see what I'm supposed to copy. Okay, just settings. Okay, so if you just go to service settings, okay, so we have something like this. Okay, I think we can just like copy something also like this and we use it. So I'm just going to go copy this where we have this input. We just simply copy that. So we can just have this card content. Okay, everything is in the card content. I'm just going to get this. Okay, choose your mode. So I'll just go here and go to appointments. So doctor appointments. I'll just go to doctor appointments here, view, and then this. Just a second. Okay. I'm just going to go to where we have after these documents. I'm just going to create here a div. Then I'm just going to paste in this here. So this is just a normal input, and then here we have this saving, pre-saving. Just going to create here. So this one has to be before I paste. This one has to be a client side. So here, just going to say the update form. We have to add it here. So I'm just going to go in this doctor. I'm just going to say update. So it's going to be update, update appointment form the tsx, just like this, rfc. Okay, just say rfc, and then here inside I'm just going to paste this. Okay, you can first import the button from the component UI, and then inside here we're just going to say const update. We're just going to say just going to start with loading. Set loading is equal to use state, just like this. By default is going to be false. I'm just going to go ahead and make this a use client. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be loading. Sorry, just go here and we make this as loading, and then loading. Okay, then we have the to create this handle update. So just say handle update. I'm just going to go ahead and create this function, and just say async function handle update, just like this. Okay, just add the try catch for now. So you're just going to update the appointment. Okay. And then down here, just say console.log error for now. Okay. We still have two errors, and this is about this the input. So for this, we will have what we are updating. We need to update three things: the meeting link. We need to update three things: the meeting link, and so on and so forth. Okay, so either we're just going to use the form, I think, which should be simple, I guess. I'm just going to first go ahead and comment out this. I'm just going to go and get this form, and let's go here. I'm just going to add this form here. So can you say update just like so? And this form should now reflect this form should reflect in the appointments. This form should be should reflect in the appointments. So we just need three things we need to update. I'd written them down here. We need the meeting link, the status. I'm just going to copy these three things. These are the exact ones we need to update within here. Okay, the status. Okay, sorry, the status, meeting link, and the meeting provider. So the status and the meeting provider should be the select. Should be select. So we could either just use the select input just here, which actually just takes the form. I'm just going to go to the forms and just get only one thing I can just use. Mm, If you go here in the mm, if you just go under doctors, if you just go onboarding, I don't know why we have these, but if you just go under onboarding, we have these different forms. So you can just have a form, and then inside the form you can have uh, just copy this, and you can just come inside here, and a few things we can do. I'm just going to paste a form here. One thing I want to see is just simply put the form, and then you can start putting the text inputs and move on just like that. I'm just going to copy one of the inputs. Just copy one of the inputs just like this, and we put it in grid. So I can just go ahead and just remove this form. The only thing I just have to do is convert this whole thing into a form. sorry, just convert this into a form, just like this. So by default, if you convert this one will have the submit by default also. And then if you just come here, you can just add any text input and just like this text form. Then you have to go ahead and bring in the use form. So const, I'm just also going to say const get it from the contact form, I guess, the use form. Okay, just copy like that. I'm just going to add it here. You don't need all these default values or anything. For now, I'm just going to remove this. I'm just first going to remove this. Okay, now for the props, right now we are going to be only three things. I can just say type appointment props, appointment update props, and here just have status. I don't know where these ones will be coming from, but I can just go ahead and you add in these the way you have them here. We have status, which is a boolean. You have the meeting link, which is a string, and then meeting provider, and then you have this as also a string. Okay, so you can just bring these appointment props and then you put them here. So we have one error, which is importing this use form. Okay, so right now we are good. We can just go ahead and test this by clicking in one of these. I can see loading. Okay, so you can see right now we have the form with the input. So I'm just going to go ahead and see how I'm just going to do this. Okay, I'm just going to go and give some padding to this. So to the form, it has a padding, and we could just say margin of 4, and this would give the margin around this. We'll just say margin y and mx of 4. I don't know why it is. Okay, great. So this is good. So here down, we need to provide a few things. The first one is going to be the this one has to be the meeting link is the biggest thing. Okay, the meeting link. So just say add meeting link, and then this name is going to be meeting link. Okay, so meeting link, it can be something like, I'm just going to go to Google Meet and you can generate a new meeting. So the good thing is he can create either Google Meet or can create any of those ones, any. I'm just going to go here and this can be like this. So I will go and add this as a placeholder, something like this. Okay. And the name meeting link. There is this underline. I don't know is from where. Okay. First of all, I'm just also going to add. I will just add a padding top, maybe padding Y of 2. Just add some spacing, more spacing onto this. Yeah. So we have the meeting link. Now the two ones down that we're just going to add is going to be changing the status. So we'll have to change the status to down. We're just going to have the select. So we'll go ahead and add the select. I can add here dot padding Y of 2. And by this one, I'm just going to add grid dot grid equals 2. Okay, so we just need to add two inputs, the one for the select. Okay, I don't know the select input takes in option, and this is how the option looks like. Mm, this one reaches the register, which should be easy. I'm just going to take the select input. Select input. Okay. So it wants you must put in all these. Label is going to be the first one is going to be for I'm just going to say accept the meeting or approve approve the meeting, approve the appointment, and I approve the appointment. Then we have the name, which is going to be status, I guess. Register is going to be register. Class name, let's first leave it. Then we have the options and also multiple, let's leave it. So we need the options. So I'm just going to set const options. So status options is going to be equal to an array, and it's just like a label of approve, and then you're just going to have the value of a here maybe true, and then just have reject, and this one's going to have false. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and provide the options. Okay. Okay, so we can just go ahead and first look at what has happened. Okay, so you can see we have approve and reject. So you can just click and it says approve. Okay. Let me just go ahead and just a second. So we have approve. You can just come here and approve. Or alternatively, we could also just have what we could have. I don't know if we just have it in this one or in these inputs. There is where we have this radio input. Okay, we have also this radio input. I don't know which one is beta, but we can also turn it into a radio input and we check and see. So this can be easily turned into a radio. So let me just do this. So the first one, I'm just going to say radio is called radio what? I think radio input. It has name, and if you do this, you'll say it has a name. Instead here, this is title. So it says the title. And then if you hover, it also have uh, errors. So it takes in the errors as errors. And then this one is radio options. And the radio options, this is the same thing. If you do that, we'll be having them presented like this: approve or reject. Okay. um, which is I think much better. Like this kind of selection is much better. Then lastly is the meeting provider. Now these ones we're just going to give them a class list. I think by default they have full, so I'm just going to give them and say that course span course span one or something to be able to have them side by side. Okay. For this other one, select input. Does it take class name? Yeah, so even this one, I'm just going to give a class name of course span one, just like that. Okay, just to have them side by side. Mm, I can just go ahead and also give the gap here. Just give a gap of maybe 6 and just give a gap. Okay. So this side, we're going to have instead, this side we're going to have the meeting provider. So the meeting link and the meeting provider. I don't know if I should first of all, let me just interchange them. So the meeting provider is here. You can just see here meeting a provider. The name is going to be meeting provider, and the name for this one is status still. The meeting provider want to for now we can there is a meeting can I say online meeting providers. So you can see we have Teams, Skype, and so on and so forth. So there are so many, but just going to put the ones that are common and known: Zoom, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams. I guess there is one called is it Jujutsu, something like that. Mm, I'm just going to, for now, just going to put maybe one of these three: Zoom, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams. Okay. If you want, you can put as many as possible. I'm just going to duplicate this and I will have the meetings, meeting providers. So the first one, just going to put Zoom. We have Google Meet. I'm just going to say Microsoft Teams. I'm just going to say Microsoft. Okay. So in these ones, if we go back to the update, I don't know where this. So if we just go down here, we can just go ahead and provide this one as the meeting providers. Okay, so you have Zoom. You can just come here and say it's Google Meet. Okay, you put Google Meet and then you say this is going to be Google Meet. Now, after updating these ones, you could just go ahead and update. So I'm just going to first change this title to update meetings, maybe update appointment. Okay, so the good thing is that all these ones we can provide. So we'll send down here. We'll continue and send this appointment, the one we have here. We have this appointment, so we can go ahead and send it down. So we can receive this appointment from Prisma client, I guess. And then here we can go ahead and provide a default values. You can still have the meeting link, so you can just say it is appointment dot meeting link, and then here we have meeting provider, which should have an appointment. Now, let me see. It should be appointment dot meeting provider. And finally, just going to have status, which should be appointment dot status, just like that. Okay. So if you just go ahead and just refresh, um, we shouldn't just have for the approve, the it should be having maybe default to. Now let me just reload. And we make sure that we this is use client. Okay. I think that one is very clear. Okay. So you can see here it is having a hash, and the meeting provider, you see there is none selected, as well as this uh, as well as these ones there is nothing because by default they are all not having anything. So um for the meeting you can see there is nothing. So in other words, we can have, now here it is very tricky, for instance, for the status. But after we have updated the first one, it should be false. Okay, it should be false to any of these ones. But if you see how this one is working behind the scenes, it is taking in these options. Okay, and we go through, and then here we have type radio, and we have the label, we have the value. Now for this checked, um, so by default we have to give it something onto this one. If you look at these values here, let me just see the values we have. Where is it? So the radio input and the values is true and false. We could just actually just give them words approved, and then this is rejected. Okay, just like this. Okay, we could just have them, and then for these other ones, we could just also give the defaults. Maybe the default is going to be Zoom. So I'm just going to update this. Instead, here for this meeting provider, this is going to be Zoom, the default one, and then this status is also going to be a string, and the default is going to be pending, I guess. I just say pending. And for the link, I'm just going to give it just empty. So going back in the appointment form, we're just going to add one more state, which is pending. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop this and rerun the server just like this. And let me just take a second. Okay, so after refreshing the page, this is how the update looks like. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a nice border. So this border, I'm just going to say border. We can just give this border to be maybe either border green, like a 600, just to put, for this person to come and feel like it needs some attention. You could also put here border 2. Let's first see, just to give it a more attention when he comes to this. He knows that he needs to do something on this stuff. Okay, so you can see we have the meeting link right now. We have the here by default it is Zoom, and then he has also these pending, approve, and reject, and you can see by default it is in the pending state. You can change it to approved or to rejected. Okay, so that's good. So what I just want to change this to update. I'm just going to change that to update something. So update appointment. Okay, so let's just first of all, on running this function, let's go ahead. So this one, a string is not sendable to Boolean, just go and I update to this to be a string. Okay, so what we want to do right now is here we'll have access to the data, and the data is going to be of type appointment, and let's go ahead and console.log this data. So we make sure we are getting this very well. I'm just going to go and I will just go ahead and go to the console here, and let's go ahead and feed in all this. I will just go and copy my a meeting link, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste this. Where am I pasting this? Here. Okay, then zoom, and so I'm just going to say approved, and what it is, yeah, that's it. So just click on this update. I don't know what was that. I clicked the button, but weirdly, firstly on a click. Oh, okay. So this isn't supposed to be on a click. Instead, we just need to on the form to pass in on submit. Okay. Just pass in on submit, and this is going to be a handle. First of all, we have to pass in this. We need to pass in this handle submit. Okay, handle submit, and then in handle submit, pass in the handle update. Okay, then this handle update will pass in the data to this async function and get access to the data. Okay, so now this should work. I'm just going to paste here, zoom, approve, and then click. Okay, so we have the data, the meeting link very nicely, the meeting provider, and then the status to be approved. Okay, so great. So now what we just need, one more thing, update will always want the ID. So we need to get the appointment ID. Okay, so here we need to try and send, we have to call the update meeting, or update appointment meeting by ID. So I'm just going to go to, I will just have to go to this side. We have appointments, and I'm very sure we must get, we have gate appointment, we have gate appointments, we have update appointments. So we have this one, appointment props. Let's just go and see appointment props. So in this appointment props, we need to add in those three things. Let me first go quickly to, I just want to close all this. We'll just handle those errors later on. Right now, let me just go ahead. We just simply want to add in these three things here. Okay. We need to go in the types. So in the types, where are they? In the types, so in the types we have appointment props. So we can just go here and add these three, like so. So we just, since we have already that a update appointment by ID, we're just going to use that update where ID and the data, and then revalidate the doctor appointments. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass in this. Now, in the update, it doesn't necessarily mean that you pass in all the data, I guess. Let me see. Um, we might just need to only create another one. This one is update appointment. We could actually just have, there is nowhere we are using this update appointment. What we can just do here, we're just going to change this. Maybe let me first leave that one. I'm just going to duplicate this and create update appointment by ID. And this one is going to take in a note these props. The data I'm just going to pass in is going to be, is just going to be update props. I think I have in the update, and just first look for this update appointment. There is this type appointment update props. I'm just say export, and then I'm just going to go and use it. I will just use it here. Update appointments by ID. I'm just going to go ahead and pass in this. Okay. simple as that. So this, there is no need of changing anything. I'm just going to go back to this. I will just simply call this here in the try catch. So you see await, update, appointment by ID, and then let's pass in, we have to pass in the ID plus the data, which is going to be the data here. And the ID is going to be on the appointment. So appointment dot ID, just like so. So here, just going to go ahead and we say set loading to true. And then when this is done, set loading to false. Now we could just go ahead and refresh the page. Okay, or we just simply leave it like that. Even here, I'm just gonna say set loading to false. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and try and see. I'm just going to try and see. So I'm just going to say approved. I will add this meeting. Now this one, just make it Google Meet. So I'm just going to go ahead and update this meeting. Click and saying saving, please wait. We need also to create a toaster, something like that. Okay, so we don't know if it has updated, but we can add also a toaster here. Toast a dot success, and just going to say appointment updated successfully. Okay. So if you want to know that it has updated, we can just simply refresh the page, and that should be like refetch it one more time, and then we see, so you can see approve, Google Meet, and this one. Okay, so this is working really nicely. So what we can also do is that the items which are having um, which are having this approved to pending, we are going to give it the red ring, and then the ones with stuff, we give them the green rings. So I'm just going to go to the appointments. Mm, so here, when it is selected, so let me see. So by default, when you go to appointments, uh, on the page of appointments, uh, where are the appointments? I don't know where I can find the appointments. they must be maybe in the layout actually. So here you see by default they have border gray. We can just give them border red. And if so, just going to give these since by default, since they all have border red, this one will be symbolizing that if you just see them like this, they mean that these ones they need to be worked on. It can help a doctor to know the pending ones, and we're also going to add it somewhere pending. Okay, maybe you could just like add a check and the pending to show that to show it. So with these ones are going to have the green one. So if something has a here item, so this if path name is equal this, and you can just go ahead and give this border. We're just going to make this to be green. Okay, and we have to give another condition. Another condition is that if item, so I'm just going to go ahead and just give another one. If item dot, so now we have status is equal to if it is equal to approved, then we can go ahead and put something here, which is going to be, let's say, also is going to be border green, maybe 700, and then we're just going to put all because this should be a condition on its own, I guess. Okay, so just going to do that. This shouldn't change, but if I refresh, this one should change now. You can see it is showing green. Okay, I'm just going to. I mean, like he has already viewed it. Maybe I'm also going to add the border here of border 2. Okay, and then we're just going to have somewhere a check. We need to have somewhere a check. So to differentiate who is the one that is open, we can, because now we're using this one to symbolize that, so we can also use the one of the path name. Here we can just like add a slightly bg green, bg green, maybe 200 or 100, I don't know, just to have a different background. Okay, So if you just go to a different link, this one it shows here that uh, I don't know. So the one that is working right now is the one of being selected. So maybe this a border, we remove it so that we can have the red. Okay, so if it is in this state, meaning that we have green selected, this winter baker is the selected person, as you can see, but because of the red ring means that he is not approved if you check him. But then if you went to queen, is going to be, it should now give us a this plus the background of green because the selected person is this. I don't know why it is not. Should give us like a BG green. I don't know why. Let me see. Okay, it works on this. I think it's because why is it doing that? If status is approved, okay, that's when we show this border of green. So in the fact that we have the O, so this one is true. And so when this one is true, item is approved. So it will take this first one and then it will ignore the second one. How can we just handle that? So I think we need also to add this one more time, I guess. Here. We need to add, let me see. So we need to add here, I think, and within this bracket. So I will add this. I don't know. So item status and border, and then a and path name is equal to this. That should now work, I guess. If I go back to the other one, the fin. So now Queen is having shouldn't have that. So if status is approved, so that one should just get this border. And if the path name is equal to this, it should just get the BG. Just going to okay. I don't know why it is now having the red border. Why is it having the red border? Queen shouldn't have the red border. Should have the background only here. Let me first take it to how it was. So it was just like this. Okay. So for the approved and disapproved, I'm just going to leave this one to border gray, the one that was there before. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and BG. I'm just going to give it BG green 100 was looking great. But we're just going to go ahead and add one thing on this. Okay, so this shows that this is selected. Okay, we could have used maybe the blue color or something. You can just go ahead and use. So this one is representing selection. Okay, the active one. Now we're just going to go ahead and use the pending. So I'm just going to go and give it either where we have the calendar here. I'm just going to add something else down here. We can even add border. Down here, I'm just going to add a flex. I'm just going to add an icon of the check with a span saying verified. or just say approved. And then here I'm just going to first of all give flex item center. For this one, give it a class name. Let's give it this full height 4. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to give it some padding top. Okay, and this background looks very much solid. So let's just go ahead and give it a 50 here. We have given it padding top of 2. So we have approved. So the meetings which are approved, they should have approved. So we can simply say if item dot status. Okay, and now this here just going to basically render an icon based on if item dot status is equal to, for instance, if we had used the enum, we would get the suggestions, but here just going to say, for instance, if it is equal to pending, if this is true, we are going to have something. It is if item so we have also rejected. Just going to say item dot status equal to approved. Okay, if this is true, we just go and put something, and then else you put another icon. So this is how you make a 3 condition, just like this. So if it is pending, we just want to get something to show pending. I'm just going to go to roasted pending state. Maybe something. Maybe something like loading or something. Um, so just go ahead and put like this pending. Could use any of these circle ellipses. Let me just use circle. ellipsis. So for rejected, we're just going to use um, X. Okay, and so if we just go back now, you should just see that we have two pending and one approved. Okay, and yeah, that one shows you, and you could also go ahead and choose the color to put here. Okay, and just go here and say CN, and we can pass in this. So with pending, we're just going to say color, we're just going to give it red. So you say text red, maybe 600. And then if maybe text, let's just say blue. And if it is approved, if item the status is equal to approved, then we could just go ahead and add one class, which is text green, maybe 600, and font symbol, something like that. Okay, so we have this, which is approved. And then if we just go to this, it will change the background to say that it is the selected one, but it is having this pending state. Okay, you can see here it is pending. Okay, great. So we can now show this if someone logs in on their side. At least now a doctor can just go ahead and add the Zoom link and can make this approved. For instance, we can just approve this. You can go ahead and add the Zoom link or whatever, and then leave it. So just leave it like this. What we need now, if someone logs in, it is 1 hour and a half. I just want right now if someone logs in. So now, at least on the side of the doctor, we're waiting to fetch all the patients. That's what is remaining, and adding these tasks. So I think we should just do that in the next episode. In the next episode, we're also going to work on the patients, fetching the patients in the doctor's panel. And I'm just going to be there for this whole entire week, working on this medical app. So you shouldn't worry. By this week, at least, we should be getting close to finishing it. The doctor is waiting to. We have appointments. We shall also put the dashboard. That one is very easy. We have the patients, the tasks, and maybe the inbox or something. Yeah. So we are remaining with a few things to finish up. You shouldn't worry right now. We are so much close. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode.